Hi, everyone. This is an introductory video to help you figure out how to get the fake out. How do you figure out whether a source is true? How do you spot fake news? How do you use valid and reliable internet sources in your scholarly papers? And how do you use this information to make life choices based on valid and reliable sources? The process is called SIFT. And don't worry, I hadn't heard about it before either, but it's a helpful acronym because it reminds you of the steps of what you need to do, which include stopping when you see something, investigating the source, finding better coverage, and then tracing the claims, quotes, and media to the original context to figure out who was sharing that information in the first place. I'm going to read our overview so that you really understand how important this is. Have you ever heard or read something that made you feel super happy or super angry or super anything else, and then later found out that it wasn't true? I have on many occasions. And have you ever passed along that inaccurate information? I have. Have you ever read something where there are so many opinions floating around that you don't even know what to believe? I certainly have. This problem of fake news has actually been around forever, but it has been an even bigger problem in the last 20 to 30 years with the advent of the internet and even more social media. Social media isn't the devil. It isn't a bad thing, but it can be used for evil because social media automatically tracks what you're doing and sends you stories and ideas from people that you already believe in, as opposed to sending you something that's more objective and allowing you to read both sides and make an opinion. Did you know that not only students have trouble with this, but even professors do as well? Not just me, but many, many professors, even if they don't think that they do. It's a real challenge that we have to contend with every day. And so the following lessons will help you navigate social media and other internet sources to see if they're true. And this really might be one of the most important skills that you learn in our class. So let's talk about how to get started. So here are your tasks. So there's 3 of them here. First, I'm asking you to move through these SIFT lessons that a professor created based on this issue. He has created a website where there are videos and there's links to lessons and visuals and things. And it is linked here. It's called Check, Please, Starter Course. And so anytime you want to get to the course, coming back to this page that says get the fake out SIFT will lead you back to these lessons. It is the first link. This whole page is the first link in our unit on get the fake out SIFT. So while you're going through these lessons, though, I want you to take notes using our guided SIFT notes handout. And when you're completely done, I'm going to have you submit it to Canvas, and the lesson is called S1 SIFT Get the Fake Out Notes. And you'll do this when you are completely done with all the lessons. After each lesson individually, so you'll be working on these lessons, I would like you to add to our SIFT Padlet located on Canvas. It's called S2 Get the Fake Out Padlet, and you're going to share information with your peers here. Okay, so you're going to be doing these 3 things. However, I want you to understand that you shouldn't do this all at once. It's going to take you far too much time, and viewing these lessons and working on them in chunks will help you retain the information better. So again, I want to point out, please follow these lessons in order in the starter course. After each lesson page, you will notice the words next up and a link. Follow it. If you need or you want to go back and review previous pages, which I did when I went through them, you can go back to the beginning really easily by coming back to this page the Get the Fake Out SIFT, which is located as the first link in this Canvas unit, this Canvas module, and then going back and starting again. I will tell you that what I did was I took my phone and I took a picture when I was done with what I was going to go through so that I could easily get back to the page that I had last left off on. Again, I want to remind you, your assignments for this will be in their own Canvas module called Get the Fake Out SIFT. Okay, let's talk about the time frame. I'm giving you class time to work on this. The author notes that it will take you 2.5 to 3 hours. However, I think that if you really take your time to understand the material, take notes, and participate in our Padlet, it will take you 4 to 5 hours. I would prefer that you don't complete it all in one sitting, but rather in 4 to 6 shorter sessions, so that you can absorb it. So let me show you our handouts first, our handout and our Padlet. So this is the guided SIFT notes that you'll go to File and you'll click on Make a Copy. And once you do, you need to make sure you share it so anyone with a link can view. Okay. And there are questions here for you to answer along the way. So I would have this open and you should be working on this as you work through the lessons. I recommend that you read the questions ahead of time so that you understand what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. The Padlet, which I'd like you to work on along the way, actually shows you what the parts are. There are 5 parts: intro to SHIFT, the stop part, which is part 2, investigating the source, which is part 3, part 4, finding better coverage, and part 5, tracing your claims and quotes and media back to the original context. So after you complete each one of these parts, please come click on the plus and add your notes here. I'm asking you to share aha moments or pertinent examples that may apply, or questions that you might have about it, or anything else you think is important. And you may respond to your peers or me, as well as like their posts. There's also a place, like if you know that this is a big question, you can add these questions here as well. Okay, so now let's look at what the notes are. What the lessons are, excuse me. So the Check Please Starter course, if you click on this, it will open up to this Check Please Starter course. So what it does is it shows up next up, lesson 1, Introduction to SIFT. And you'll notice that all these lessons are here. You can click on the next one, you click on it, you open it up, you read through it, you look through it. Some of it is short, some of it is longer. You can look at the vocabulary and open that up and take a look at what a claim and a source are, for example. And then once you're done, you can go to the next lesson, Fake Out, and it adds more information here. Okay, and if you want to go in deeper depth, there are ways for you to extend the lessons. So I'm taking you through all of these lessons. And what you'll do, some of them are longer than others. You see that this one's a longer one. You can go in depth, or you can go to the next lesson. Okay, so this is what you're going to do for this module. And if you have any issues, you can go ahead and send a message on Pronto and ask your peers questions, in addition to emailing me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.